Minnesota News Now here. Just waiting for some people to jump on my live stream. I've got some news updates for everyone. Just pulling up the info right now. I'm on my way down to meet up with Rowdy for our podcast we do today. So I figured while I'm on the road, might as well make the best of it. But we have some interesting news I wanted to cover quick. Bonjour. Thank you for tuning in. I missed who that was. Give me 1 second. Kip, thanks for tuning in. Kip, appreciate you. Kip, thanks for tuning in. Kip, appreciate you. So I still only got one person in here. 2 people. I'm doing pretty good today, Kip. How are you doing today? Great, dude. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you, brother. Couldn't be doing it without you guys. It is right now 15 degrees outside according to my truck. It is mostly cloudy, light wind. So waiting for a few more people to jump on here before we start talking about the news. We got 4 people. Alright, well, I don't want to wait too long. So, covering some news for today. The first settlement out of Minneapolis with the police, with all the civil unrest. I don't know if you guys remember the lady that was shot in her face with the less than lethal round. As you can see, I've got a dishwasher. Sorry, not to change the subject. I got a dishwasher in the back of my truck I'm taking down to get rid of. Swapped that out the other day. So, anyway, going back to that. So the lady that got shot in her face. She got her first settlement. Let me pull that up here for you guys. So this lady right here got shot in her face by MPD officers. She took a settlement for $57,900 for that from Minneapolis PD. To me, that seems like a very low amount. No, I haven't heard anything updates on photographers that were being attacked by MPD officers. I can tell you right now, from what I seen when I was down there were protesters and rioters trying to claim that they were press, which was, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a protester or a rioter and claim press immunity. My case is a little bit different. I'm still debating if I want to pursue legal action on that, because it only hurts the taxpayers of the city. It doesn't change or do anything for the agency. And I know everyone's like, sue, but I don't know if anyone's ever tried to sue the government. There's times and places, and I don't know. I'm still out on the fence with that. So next thing is next. I want to cover in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, 6 a.m. today. Let me get to that. So at 6 a.m. today on the 6200 block of Winnetka Avenue North in Brooklyn Park SWAT delivered a high-risk warrant, or they acted on a high-risk raid in a house, and Sheriff Fletcher is going live today at 5:11. I did not know that. Thanks for the update on that. I'll get back to the Brooklyn Park thing too. I want to update too. Sheriff Fletcher did get elbowed or punched in the face on live on patrol. So I've been trying to get in touch with Sheriff Fletcher. I would love to get in touch with Sheriff Fletcher, but haven't heard anything. Super busy. I get it. We're all busy. We all have lives, but I am public and he works for me. So I don't know. He seems like a pretty reasonable guy. I've stopped there a couple of times. In any case, I'll be checking that out at 5 today. Thanks for giving us all the update. Brooklyn Park, so they served a high-risk, they went on a high-risk raid into a house. It's still an ongoing investigation, so very limited detail as it becomes available to me. It was Brooklyn Park Police were at, or the SWAT team on behalf of the investigators for Brooklyn Park PD. So that happened at 6 a.m. this morning. So if anyone lives in the Brooklyn Park area and was wondering what was going on, that's what's going on. What else do we got going on today? There was an arrest and charges were filed in Coon Rapids stabbing. There was a woman this stems from an incident that happened on January 14th. PD was called out to a call of a stabbing at 3:46 a.m. on the 14th, and it was a woman that was stabbed. They have made an arrest and charges have been filed against a second woman accused of stabbing this woman. So that is kind of the major news for now. There's a lot of issues going on politically. Let me jump on the chat here. News Now Twin Cities. News Now Twin Cities, definitely let me make you a mod. I don't know if you emailed me, but News Now Twin Cities, definitely shoot me an email. I did see your message, so thank you for reaching out to me on the one video. Always looking for more people to go out with. If you're interested, shoot me an email. I'll get in contact with you. We'll link up. Okay, so I already emailed you. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. I've got so much stuff going on, guys. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I mean, I've got about 8 people on here right now, but I support everyone. I'm going to try and make more of a news broadcast, try to do something a little bit more stable. I've talked to Rowdy a lot. He's going to kind of help me out with some more fancy stuff. So hopefully we'll get better with everything, a little bit more professional looking. But just an update too, I've talked to a lot of officers off the record, a lot of different State Patrol. I did get a chance to talk to Lieutenant Shank with State Patrol. Lieutenant Shank is, he's working with couple different agencies to work with not getting a press pass or something. He wasn't able to go into detail, but kind of what I was reading through what he was saying was some way to get journalists during civil unrest times to have a better way for their officers or troopers to be able to identify us more clearly as media. And I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a vetting process a little bit, which you don't have to, and that's one thing he wanted to make very clear, that it's if we want to. It hopefully makes it so we don't get attacked by officers and troopers, and they understand that we're just there to be journalists. So they are trying to work very hard to keep us safe as possible, which I appreciate. You know, this is all a new world to everyone right now, especially with COVID, the civil unrest. I never expected to be shooting up in my channel the way I was. There's a lot of things that I'm digging into. I'm calling around to try to get in touch with all the sheriffs in the state to find out which ones are very constitutional sheriffs, which ones are supporting the Constitution. I think it's crucially important to do that, and that way too. Yes, they were. I do want to respond to that, Kip. They were shooting rounds at us that were wearing press. They were shooting at mainstream media. They were shooting at everybody. Some of the problems we had people were coming up behind us that were filming, because I always tried to stay in really good shots. And I know my live stream was terrible, which I'm since working to try to fix that for the trial that's coming up. People would run up behind us and throw things over us, and then the PD would have a hard time trying to hit them or shoot over us. And the gas canisters, like on the 1360 video that I released, was they shoot all over. It hit an Associated Press guy right in his shoulder, right behind me. So, and then part of the live stream you can see, well, the one I released of the 360 video, you can see the gas canister right below my tripod. You know, it was shooting out both directions, and I was in the middle of it. And people are like, "Why didn't you get out of there?" Well, where do you go? There is nowhere to go. If you're in it, you're in it. So, having said that, guys, I really appreciate the support and everything. But the sergeant that did come after me, I do believe that there's something that needs to definitely happen. Talking with a lot of officers off the record, they don't support Minneapolis police in a lot of things they do. Minneapolis police has lost the trust in their community, so no matter what they do, good, bad, right, wrong, they're always wrong, and the community doesn't want a lot of them. I did want to give an update though, and I thought this was very interesting. I did learn from the troopers, and I did some investigating after this. One thing I learned was with the tire flattening in Minneapolis that happened during the protest riots and arson, the civil unrest. People were able to file tort claims right away to get reimbursed for their car tires, tows, whatever it was that they needed to get reimbursed for. State Patrol in the state of Minnesota was just giving money back to everyone. So that never made it anywhere. I seen one article on Stardom over that. I believe that journalism should be fair. I believe if you're going to report on a story, there should be a follow-up to it. So I do want to give some information on follow-ups that I've been working on. Robbinsdale PD is absolutely refusing to talk about their man-child officer. They're just brushing it off. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, after we seen FTP out there, and he truly was just filming. The pit maneuver aftermath. The person was in custody, no crime scene tape up. He was on the other side of the road where there's no no crime scene, and the one trooper or the one officer jumped out at him and forced him back and forced him back and forced him back. So that's a problem to me. I called them to try to get an interview, on camera interview, statements, anything. They just said they have a great relationship with their community and they don't feel the need to comment or talk about that at all. He did use a lot of colorful language in that video. That was his video, not my video, his video. But right is right, wrong is wrong. He wasn't doing anything wrong. They're sworn to protect the Constitution, and they didn't. The other update is Big Daddy News Now. And thank you so much, sir, for sharing the video. I do have a video that I'm going to be sending to him. Big Daddy, you're now a mod. People try to tune into Big Daddy News Wisconsin. There are some boring videos. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of videos where he's doing the 3D printing. I mean, if you're into it, you're into it. It's great. But I know why he's doing that. And if you catch up on a lot of his videos, he'll explain why he does that. And I think it's a genius move on his part to do that. So follow him for court updates. I did go out there to talk to the police department, and I'm gonna get with him about doing a follow-up on what's going on. But the city has actually filed a restraining order against him, which I think is very weird. I did talk to a sheriff here in Minnesota that doesn't understand how that can even be constitutional to do that. So I'm going to try to get a video put together, and regardless of the reason or the intent of either side of this is a very scary situation for all of us, and we all should be watching this very closely. And I don't know why it's not being picked up at all by any mainstream media. Well, I kind of do. It doesn't fit a narrative that they want to push. But the scary thing about having a city file a restraining order against one of their citizens is where can it go? Where does it end? Government never gives power back once it's given to them. This can start a very scary precedent. And the precedent that I see that's very scary with this is people doing First Amendment auditors. Or cities starting to file restraining orders, counties starting to file restraining orders against people doing First Amendment audits. And the sole purpose of them to file these restraining orders is to hem you up on a civil charge. Now keep in mind, this is all usually civil matter until you violate it, and then it turns into a criminal case or a criminal matter. So, to give an instance, say someone goes out and does a thank you so much for jumping me a thumbs up. I do appreciate that, Ross. The scary thing is with this precedence that, so you go out and do a First Amendment audit at a government building, which it's our building. They go and file a harassment restraining order against, and each state's a little bit different. They go and file a restraining order against you. Okay. After that, it's again, these are not designed for what they're trying to do with them. So now they come in and file a restraining order against you. There's a temporary one usually given until you got to fight it. And you're going to spend time and money, and the county doesn't. They already have the time and money to spend. So then what happens is you can't do First Amendment audits anymore, because all it takes is they'll tell you can, and this is where it gets really tricky. They'll tell you can go out and do a First Amendment audit or go film the police, whatever. But as soon as someone feels like you're harassing them, you violated the order for protection restraining order. You now have a criminal charge. You then have to go to court. You can be arrested, which, I'm just going to say it, there's a lot of auditors out there that cops don't like. There's a lot of bad cops out there that are just itching to arrest people. And I think it's a very scary thing, and I think we all should be watching this closely. Another thing, I did put out tons of money on your end. Yeah, man, I know. I seen you walking earlier today, Big Daddy News Wisconsin. I seen you walking with your diesel. We warmed up to 18 over here, so you got a little bit warmer weather heading your way. But the scary thing about all this is also that I put a bulletin out, Rowdy's put a bulletin out. This is kind of what we were talking. We knew this was coming down the pipeline. We had some insider info about them using the Patriot Act on us. I made a decision that I don't care. I'm going to let them come after me if they so choose to. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm covering as a journalist. All my videos are public. But this is scary times for all of us, and they're trying to come at people, the tyrants. Keep in mind, I'm not talking about the good ones, the ones that are understanding the Constitution, respect the Constitution, love the Constitution like the rest of us should be doing, and following the Constitution. The one, that pesky piece of paper that was written years ago. But that Constitution is what made our country, right? That's why we're here today. That's exactly why we exist, and that's what makes our country unique to other countries. That Constitution is supposed to be chaining our government back to not infringe, because when we're born, those are our rights that we have, and the government can't step in and take them. And they're slowly picking at this. Like or dislike Penn and Teller, I think they explained the Second Amendment extremely well, and that's why I did that video. I've got another video coming up with Auditors of America. Lackluster actually did a really good overview on his, and so I didn't change anything. I'm not going to monetize this video, but this is going to be a video that Campbell, and I think he's in the Tennessee side, not the Kentucky side. He went out to do a First Amendment audit, film the gate from public. There's a DHS memo, and you hear a lot of different auditors talk about this. DHS memo clearly states that it is okay to take photos and video of federal government property. They also state a CFR code in there. The CFR code talks only about inside a federal building. Ramsey County tried to use the CFR code in their county building. The CFR code is very, very clearly says it only governs federal government installations, either leased or owned. It doesn't cover a county building. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. So, needless to say, there's a lot of pushback on both sides, and we need to stay strong. We need to stay vigilant. Everyone that's doing First Amendment audits, that they're possibly coming for anyone that doesn't. I know I fall under that group. What'd you just post a link to? All right, yep. So you got that too. That's going to be coming out in mine as well in the beginning of the video when you hear me doing the narration. Yeah, Dan. Only one that can actually say it. Well, there's a lot of people that can say warmed up to 18 degrees. Oh, that's the new one from yesterday. Okay, I'll check into that one. I have the old one, so I'll definitely check into that. But keep in mind, Army base, a fort. These are all people that swore an oath, just like our officers. It means nothing when you swear an oath to some people. For some people, I know when I put on a uniform to serve my community, or when I signed up with the fire department, I was and still am extremely proud that I was there to help people. And I think that's the main goal and main reason that people should understand what they signed up for. You didn't sign up to follow orders. Nowhere in the Constitution says blindly follow orders. Nowhere, anywhere does it say this. What it says is you're to uphold the federal Constitution first. And then, depending if you're law enforcement, I'm not sure how the National Guard works a whole lot. And then it goes on to say what? State, local, or state statutes, local rules and laws. But it also states that anything that violates the Constitution is not legitimate. It's not, doesn't exist, shouldn't exist. So, kind of having said that, getting kind of long here on the rant. I don't want to go over 30 minutes. People need to make sure they are. Yes, Big Daddy, you definitely need to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. I've had 2 people reach out to me, then Blue Line Slayer, and I'm going to get in contact with you, Twin City News Now, to get a couple more people. But we need people all over. And when I say people, you don't have to be up there in front of the camera. Not everyone wants to be in front of the camera. Not everyone feels comfortable in front of the camera. That's completely fine. But we need backup camera people. We need someone sitting in their car across the street filming. We need more and more people out there to show support in this community. I don't want to get into too much more with talking about different groups. There's a group out there that believes that a small amount of the citizens can overthrow a large government, and not violence. Definitely not saying violent. I'm saying do it the right way. Get involved in your local elections. Get involved in your city councils. Yeah. News Now Twin Cities definitely. And when I reach out to you, we'll go a little bit more in depth with different things like that. Anyway, I'm hitting that 30-minute, 27:45. I'm gonna get off here. I'm getting pretty close to Rowdy's here, so I'm gonna jump off here. Appreciate everyone jumping on. Hopefully, we covered some news topics. I'm gonna try to get this a little bit more professionalized and streamlined, so it's not all me just driving in my truck, but this is when I kind of have the most of my time, although I can have my laptops in here so we can, run off that as well, which I'm going to try and do that. So a lot of my cameras are Wi-Fi capable. I can plug them into my computer, so that'll be a little bit better. Minnesota state law has a weird law that says you cannot transmit or receive data while operating a motor vehicle. Although we all have phones that do that constantly, so I don't know how that one would hold up in law, in court. There are also exemptions to this law. The main thing is know your laws, know the Constitution, know your agencies and your departments, weed them out, find out the good ones, find out the bad ones, and we need to stay on the bad ones and hold them accountable the right way. And I will say this time, no violence. I don't promote violence. There's a right way to do it, and violence is not the right way. And we need to glorify the good departments, show the good officers, show the ones that are upholding their oath, because they're there, they exist. And I can tell you, and we all know this, when you're working a job, good job, you tend to be the one doing everything with no recognition, but the one screw up that's working there with you, everyone knows they're a screw up, so they do one moderately good thing and they're getting praised all over the board. You're sitting there like, I just did his job and 3 others and I'm busting my butt, and no one even says, hey man, I appreciate you. So we've all been there, so keep that in mind. The good officers need recognition too, the ones that are upholding their oath. And follow up too. So those of you who stayed on as long as you've had, I really appreciate this. The one deputy that I talked to, that I offered the chip to out in Ramsey County, I was able to talk to him later on. I did a follow-up with the third deputies that when I went out there the first time with Minnesota Guardian. he is extremely versed on the Constitution, and actually told me that he agreed with what we were doing and everything. He just couldn't say it on camera. So even though he came off like that, he was thinking that we were he didn't know what to expect from us, so that's why he came out so aggressive. So I did able to have a conversation with him, a couple other deputies. We had a great conversation. We had a great rapport now with those three deputies, which that's what it is. It's building and healing. The one deputy, the one that kind of jumped in front of Save Tony a little bit, he's a U.S. Marine. The other deputy, when we first did that video, he was fresh out of the jail, so he didn't really know. So there's always backstories to everything, and hopefully I'm going to be talking to Lieutenant Shank pretty soon. I've emailed off the videos to him for him to review and look at, so we can have responses to this. The incident, does Minnesota State Patrol have a code of ethics? Now keep in mind, since I aired that video, I have talked to probably a few dozen troopers at the Capitol in different incidents, and all the troopers have been extremely professional, extremely nice. So it must be just a few bad ones that we've run into, and unfortunately, we all know how drama works. So there's over 600 state troopers in the state of Minnesota. Not all of them can be good. Not all of them can be what we want. But if the 590 of them are, we're doing pretty good. We just got to get rid of those 10, or get them to change and understand that they work for us, the public. We need them, and they need us. We're not enemies. So I know out in Wisconsin, Big Daddy News could use some help out there. Well, I try to be an optimist too, Gray Dude. If we don't have law and order, and this, let me just kind of explain. If we don't have law and order, we have chaos. We all seen what happened in Seattle and Portland with Chaz or Chop. That's lawlessness. That's no law and order at all. Period. Nothing. That's pure. Not what we want. Now, can we police ourselves? I think to a certain point, but I think too a lot of officers I've talked to are very frustrated with the court systems, and that's the other thing. It's more than just police, it's the court systems too. The court systems are allowing this to happen. Right, and I'm with you, News Now Twin Cities. I'm very anti-corruption too. People need to be held accountable for whatever. If I do something wrong, I need to be held accountable. I admit it. I'll be the wrong person when I'm wrong. When I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong. I'm right. So, and I think that's how we all should be. So going on that, we're working together, trying to bridge a lot of gaps. This is a lot of learning, a lot of territory for a lot of people. So I appreciate everyone on here. I've gone over my 30-minute goal. But, Big Daddy News Wisconsin needs help out there as a second camera person. So if anyone's out in kind of the Green Bay, I believe you're out there in the Green Bay area, I'm going to butcher the name, Kakuna, Wisconsin, could definitely use help out there. So if anyone's out there, anyone has time, it's going through a lot out there. For me, from the Twin Cities area, it's probably about a 4.5 hour drive out there one way. But it's worth it. Now again, it's cold to most people in Minnesota. My truck's just dropped down to 15 degrees now, so we're somewhere in the teens up here. It's cold, not gonna lie. So if you're not used to this, you will be shocked. Dress in layers, dress warm. If you're used to it, I work outside a lot. I've got several warm layers. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna jump off. I gotta hit my navigation. I appreciate everyone tuning in. We got 2,550 subscribers now. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate all your guys' help. I couldn't be doing this again without you. I do want to. I'm gonna brag. I do want to brag a little bit, because everyone thinks we do YouTube for money. So I'm gonna brag about all the money that I've made on YouTube since I've been doing this for almost coming up to 2 years here. I think this spring, summer. I want everyone to be ready for this dollar amount. Hope everyone's sitting down. I checked as of yesterday or 2 days ago, $142 on my AdSense account. So I'm trying not to brag about it. I'm not doing this for the money. I make enough money being a contractor. I love what I do. I love filming. I'm working on investing on some new things. I want to get one thing I'm working on is a camera with a better zoom lens. I did find one on Wish, so if anyone has any information on that, I greatly appreciate it. Anything that they've worked to zoom in closer. I am rich, $142. Look out. And that's one thing too. I want people to understand, if you're getting into this, you're not gonna. I mean, everyone makes their different amount of money. Different people blow up differently and everything. So, I'm not doing this for the money at all. I'm doing this for the reasons. I think money corrupts. But I'll be very transparent with everyone too, because that's what my goal is with government. Even though I'm private, I believe that I'm working for all you guys out there. So I'm going to be transparent as much as I can be, because I do have to protect some things of my personal life, because people that do what we do are attacked by individuals. And I'm also wanting law enforcement to be able to reach out to me too and be able to trust me as well. I will take any confidential information I get to my grave. That's one thing about me. I'm very loyal when it comes to. I'm very loyal, period. So if anyone has confidential information that they want to share with me, I will keep it confidential. So anyway, News Now Twin Cities and Big Daddy News Wisconsin, I will definitely be in touch with you. I haven't forgot about getting you that video. I've had some technical issues. One of my hard drives crashed on my brand new computer that I got. So I lost tons of data, so I'm hoping that's not one of the videos that I lost. I think I still have that one. Some things are backing up to multiple different clouds. Just figuring out which one they went to. So anyway, guys, I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. I hope you appreciate everything I'm doing for you. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I don't know, I've had some person just say F off. I'm like, I don't quite know where to go with that, but if you give me somewhere to go with things, I can grow and learn from that too. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off here. I appreciate everyone here. I know I said that like 10 times already, but I am signing off now. So thank you for all tuning in. I'll be in touch with you guys. I'm gonna try and air my Rowdy's podcast on my channel today, if we don't run into any technical difficulties. So stay tuned for that. If not, jump over to Rowdy Podcast, or The Rowdy Podcast on YouTube. I am his co-host. We try and do a podcast show, like Louder with Crowder. Not like him, but like the setup, like the on-air podcast radio show on camera. Tune in for that. Hopefully that'll be airing soon. Rowdy's put a lot of money and a lot of investment into his show, and he's going to be helping me out. think this community, we all need to work together, regardless if we like each other's style or not. We definitely need to show respect and represent each other. It's tough, and we're never going to be perfect, and we're never going to be satisfying everyone. I know I was very hurt when I began with comments. Anyway, I gotta go. You guys take care. Sorry about the rant. I appreciate much love and respect. Jason with Minnesota News Now out.